Google has just dipped its toes into the agent framework space, and it has released an open source AI agent framework that integrates with Gemini and Google. They're calling it the Agent Development Kit, and it's a flexible and modular framework both for developing and deploying AI agents. And it is designed with a focus on tight integration with Google ecosystem and Gemini models. They're given the link to the GitHub repository on the top right. If we visit that, we can see that the first commit happened just 3 weeks ago. And if we go to the code, we can already see that there are 7,500 stars. So this repository is growing fast. So in this video, let's look into the Agent Development Kit, how we can go about working with it, and how we can go about building an end-to-end agent project using the Agent Development Kit. So let's get started. So to get started, we need to do pip install Google ADK, and they have not given any other getting started command, which also means that only Python is supported currently. Let's go ahead with the installation. So I've come here, I'm creating a new Conda environment called Google ADK with Python 3.1. I'm just going to say yes, created now. I'm just going to do Conda activate Google ADK. We're all set now, and I'm going to do pip install Google ADK, and that should install everything needed for ADK. And the installation went through fine. As we can see, it's successfully installed so many packages. So the next step is to get the API key for Google AI Studio. For this, I just Googled Google AI Studio, and the top hit. If I just open Google AI Studio, we can see the Get API Key button on the top right. So if I just click that, it's showing the API keys that I have already generated. I can either create a new API key or I can use the previous ones. I'm just going to click on Create API Key. It's asking me to select a project. I can select Gemini API, for example, and I can just create API key in existing project. So now that the preliminaries are out of the way, let's look into the mini project that we are going to do. So we are going to be doing a travel planner using the agents. For that, we need a flight agent, which is going to look into the flight details for a given date. And we need a hotel agent, which is going to look into the hotel details for a given budget and for a given date. And both the sub agents are going to be coordinated by a coordinator agent. And we are going to implement this in the Google ADK framework. So let's go ahead with the implementation now. So I'm going to start by creating a directory for the new project. I'm going to say make directory travel planner. And I'm going to go to VS Code from here, and I have come to VS Code to open the directory. So I have opened the directory, and we have the travel planner open here. And I'm going to add a new file, which will be a .env file in order to, so we got the .env file here, and I'm going to add the Gemini API key, and I'm going to add my API key here. Let's also add a init file in order to make it a Python package. And because we are working with agents, I'm also going to create agent.py. So the agent.py that we just created is going to be our coordinator agent. And we're also going to have two sub-agents, which are the flight agent.py and hotel agent.py. Now, because these are going to be sub-agents, we are going to put them under a different folder, but we're going to have this coordinator agent in the project level folder. So let's do that. So we've got the agent.py here, and I'm going to create a new folder called sub-agents. And under the sub-agents, we are going to have a new file, which is the flight agent.py. And we're also going to have a new file again, which will be the hotel agent.py. And now we can start editing each of these files and add the Python code inside them. Now that we have defined the different files for each of the agents, we haven't defined how the communication happens between the different agents. For that, we can use Pydantic and define a kind of schema that exactly says or makes sure that the agents speak the same language or the same schema among themselves. So we are going to be defining a Pydantic schema for that. So if we go back to our project, the best place I can think of is under the project itself. So I'm going to create a folder for tools, under which we can have the schemas file, schemas.py, and we can define the Pydantic schema here, with which the different agents is going to communicate with each other. So in the schemas.py, I'm going to say from Pydantic import base model. It's not recognizing Pydantic because I haven't chosen the virtual environment. So I'm now going to do that. If I do a Command-Shift-P, I'm going to select the interpreter and I'm going to select the Google ADK that we just created. And now Pydantic is recognized. So I have imported that. Now I'm going to say class travel details, and I'm going to inherit the base model, and I'm going to say origin as in is a string, and destination of travel, which will again be a string. And then we have a start date, which will be a string, and an end date, which will also be a string. And we will have a budget amount for the travel, which will be a float. And we also have a budget currency, could be US dollar or pound or anything else. So that will also be a string. So that is the schema that we'll be using for the agents to communicate with each other. So with the schema defined, we can now move on to defining the agents. So to define the agents, these are the main details that we need to provide. The agent needs to have a name and a description that goes about the agent. And most importantly, the model or the LLM the agent will be using, and the instructions for the agent. And also we have the tools that the agent will be using in order to execute our instructions. So let's go ahead and define these details for each of the agents. So I've opened flightagent.py. In this, I'm going to say from Google ADK import agent. That is going to help us create an agent. So let's create the flight agent by creating an object of agent. Obviously, we need to give a name, which will be the flight agent, and the model that we will be using. In this case, it will be Gemini 2.0 /exp. And we can also give a description, which is going to describe what the agent is going to do. It's going to suggest flights based on origin, destination, travel dates, and the budget. And we also need to give the instruction. For the instruction, I'm saying you are a flight booking agent. The coordinator will give you origin, destination, start date, end date, budget amount, and budget currency, exactly the things that we defined in the schema. And then it's going to return 1 to 2 mock flight options, including airline name, departure, and return date and time, price, and the class. Make sure the total price is within the budget. So with that, we have defined the flight agent. Similarly, we can move on to the hotel agent, and we can define the hotel agent. Once again, we are going to do from google.adk import agent, and we're going to create a hotel agent object, which will be having a name again, which will be the hotel agent, and it will have the model. Once again, it will be the Gemini model, and it will have a description, which is that find hotels within the destination and budget for the given dates, and it will also be given instructions. So for the instruction, I'm saying you are a hotel booking agent. The coordinator will give you all these details, which is the schema. Return 1 to 2 mock hotel suggestions, including hotel name, nightly rate, and total cost in the given currency, main features, and ensure that the total price fits in the budget. So we have defined the hotel agent as well. Now let's move on to the coordinator agent. For this, similarly, we need to import the ADK. We need to import the agent from the ADK, and similarly, we can import the flight agent from subagents.flightAgent. And also we need the hotel agent, and also because we are dealing with the date, we need to import the daytime and the time delta in order to find the difference between time. And now we are ready to create the coordinator agent, which will be an object of the agent class. We need a name, of course, which will be the travel coordinator. Let me have a look. I think we used underscore there, so probably we can follow the naming convention. We can say travel coordinator, and we also need a model for this. The model will of course be Gemini again 2.0 flash model. And for the description, I'm going to say main coordinator agent that gathers travel preferences and queries the sub agents. And then we can give the instruction, of course. And for the instruction, I'm saying you are a travel planning coordinator. Your task is to gather travel preferences from the user and coordinate with subagents to provide flight hotel suggestions with day plans. You will receive user inputs in natural language and need to extract the following details. And so you're giving the details that it needs to extract, which is the origin, destination, start date, end date, budget, and currency. This matches the schema that we have just defined. And if there are any details are missing or unclear for the start date, if the user doesn't provide it and we are telling what to do, basically use the today. Oh, that reminds me. So we need to define this today. We can define it somewhere at the top. So I'm going to say today is datetime dot today dot date. So the agent knows what today is. And for the end date, if the user only provides the number of days, calculate the end date based on today. If the user does not provide the currency, assume US dollar. And then we are saying once all the details are gathered, confirm the travel preferences with the user. If there are any ambiguities, ask the user to confirm, send the data to the respective agents, these two agents that we just defined, and present the final results, combining the results from both agents and the day plan, including trip summary with all details. Note that maximum budget should be used for flight and hotel suggestions. And we're just giving basically some conditions. For example, the maximum budget, it should not exceed the budget when it's combined. And so we are wrapping up the coordinator agent. The next important bit here is that we need to define the sub agent as well. So we're going to say the sub agents are flight agent and the hotel agent. So that pretty much defines the coordinator agent. And we also need to say that the root agent is the coordinator agent. It's kind of like the top node in a hierarchy. If we think of a tree, basically the coordinator node is right at the top. So we have to say that's the root agent. And lastly, to sort out the repository in the init file, I've given from .import agent, because agent is at the same level as that of the our project folder. So with all those code changes, we are all set to run our projects. And to run the agents, there are 4 options that Google provides. So one is the command line interface, and the other one is the ADK web, where we can play around directly with the agents in the browser. And there is also the API server. If you want to serve your agents to an external API, then this is the option for you. And if you're coding and you want to invoke the agent program in the middle of your code, say Python code, then you probably have to go this route. Because I'm just demonstrating, I'm just going to do ADK web and I'm going to walk you through how it looks. So to start the project, we need to be one level above the project that we have coded. In this case, it's the travel planner. And at this directory level, all that we need to do is ADK web to launch the web. We can see that we can access it in this link, but it just shut down because I'm actually running the same command on VS Code. So in the VS Code, in the terminal, we can see that I'm already running that command. So it has actually shut it down on the terminal. That's fine. So if we visit the user interface, this is what we see. We can choose the project on the top left. Currently, we only have the travel planner. If there are more than one, then we have the option to choose there, and we can start interacting with the travel planner straight away. We can see that if I say hi, it's saying I'm here to help you plan your trip. To get started, I need a little information about your travel preferences. Please provide the following details: origin, destination, start date, end date, and budget. So I played around with it actually in a different user interface in a different session, and I gave the origin as London, destination is Paris, end date is 28th of April. It took the start date as default, which is today, which is 23rd of April. And it's asking me for the budget. So I said $200 and it's confirmed the details with me. And then it finally showed the flight options, which is British Airways and the Air France. And I asked, how about a hotel for these dates? And it said it's suggesting these hotels: Hotel Parisian Dream and Cozy Stay Paris. And it's come up with the prices for these for 5 nights. So obviously they are unrealistic because it does not have access to real-time address or real-time details. So I simply asked, what is the address of Cozy Stay Paris Hotel? It said it doesn't have access to address of the hotel. Where did you find Cozy Stay Paris? Then it said I generated the hotel suggestions, including the name, as a mock example to fit your budget and travel dates. So it has just hallucinated and come up with this details because we asked it to mock the examples, and it clearly says I don't have access to real-time hotel database to find accurate hotels. But it seems to work perfectly fine. So this is just a toy example. So running this application was not without errors, but most of them were to do with my negligence. One of them was that, when I started coding, I didn't have this travel planner.subagent. It was like this because VS Code was suggesting it, but it turns out that we have the init file only at the project level, which is at the travel planner. So I had to do travel planner.subagents.flight agent or hotel agent. And the next one was again to do with Python. I didn't use a f string. I just had it like this, but inside of it, I was replacing today with, a variable. So it was complaining about this because obviously it couldn't populate the date here because it was not a f string. So I had to convert the instruction into a f string. And the third problem was again silly. I was mentioning here for the API key, I was mentioning Gemini API key, but the actual one is Google API key. So those were mainly the mistakes I was facing. So otherwise, it was pretty easy to get started with this and just run it. And debugging actually did not take that long. So that pretty much brings us to the end of the overview project or a mini project about Agent Development Kit. And let me summarize with the key features. One is the rich tool ecosystem. We can use pre-built tools, custom functions, OpenAI specs, or integrate existing tools to given agents, diverse capabilities, all for tight integration with the Google ecosystem. And it's a code-first development. We can define logic, tools, and orchestration directly in Python for ultimate flexibility, testability, and versioning. And it's multi-agent system. Of course, we are building with several agents and we can deploy anywhere. We can easily containerize and deploy agents on cloud or scale seamlessly with Vertex AI agent engine. So that is all I wanted to say about this at this stage. Let's wait and see how far this goes. And I will see you in my next video. Until then, take care.